I am flipping something today. I have not flipped for a while, and I'm really excited to share it with you. I have done so many of these in the past, and on my personal Pinterest page, I have a board of just what I've done of this particular item. I have to figure out a way to transfer that over to my business page because it's amazing the vast number of these I personally have flipped, and today's is a little different. So stay tuned, and you guys all the way to the end because that's where my final pictures will be.
So here it is, y'all, a bread box we picked up for $3 at an estate sale. There was something on that little spot there and it had come off, and it looks like somebody just hand painted over that. And I am going to make sure that that's nice and flat. We're using 120 grit sandpaper on my little finger sander. And then once that is smooth, I'm going to take this outside and spray it down with 2 coats of shellac. This wood is going to bleed. I can just tell from messing with it. And I also want to make sure that that center area is completely smooth and flat and all of the textures are the same. So once that is done and drying, I took out my sunflower mold and I'm going to dust all these parts that I think I'm going to use with a good coating of cornstarch. When I am done getting this all dusted out, I'm going to tip this over and knock out any of that excess cornstarch. I don't want to have the cornstarch blocking all the beautiful details that are in these Iron Orchid Designs molds. And let me tell you, the details are fabulous. And you could also use resin in this if you chose to. I use resin all the time in mine. I would just make sure that you clean out any of the residual clay or any of the cornstarch. So I am taking out my Iron Orchid Designs air dry clay. I'm kind of warming it up in my hands a little bit, and then I'm going to smush it into the mold and then use my thumb and draw it out towards that lip. And then it just breaks off any of that excess clay. It's actually a really easy, satisfying part to do because it comes out so beautifully with that micro rim on there. And then I've decided I'm going to use both of the leaves that are in this mold, the little bud and then the great big sunflower. And we are going to do the same process for all of these. The only thing is with that great big sunflower, we're going to put a piece down, we're going to smash that in and then work the center where it's got the most of that clay and use my palm more than my thumb because my palm is wider and covers more of that area like I just did there on that leaf. So that's how we're going to do that middle section. And then at some point you do see me taking a paintbrush that it has a round handle and rolling that across. You could use a brayer for that. You could use a rolling pin. And I'm just trying to get that back nice and smooth so that when I do attach this to our bread box, that it's nice and smooth and will lay it flat and I'll have the best chance to have that glue hold. And if there's ridges on that or bumps, it's only going to hold where the high points are. So I want to make sure that that's nice and smooth. And here is where I'm just kind of working all that clay out to the edge and using that rim to smooth it out. If you have not used these, don't be intimidated. They are so much fun. And these details the molds are so detailed. It's amazing. And you could use resin. People use these for chocolates. The uses for these are endless. I absolutely love them. I will admit I don't take them out nearly as much as I should. I've been trying to more and more lately. And since we're kind of moving into fall mode here at Midwest Charm, I decided the sunflowers were the perfect addition to the spread box, which can be then used for anything. Anything you want to hide your clutter, you want to put your electronic devices in it before everyone sits down at the dining room table. There's so many uses for these. I absolutely love them. And like I said, I have sold so many of these in the past 5 years or so. and I just kind of backed off doing them for a while. And I've recently done, I think this is my third one, probably in this year so far, which isn't my norm, but I have done so many of these. So, and we've sold them for all different purposes, not just bread boxes. So you guys, very versatile piece. So we just rolled them out of our mold, and then I'm going to take my Type Bond Quick and Thick, and I'm going to pull off my mold and put glue all over the back. And when I am spreading this out, I'm going to I just use my fingers and then wash my hands when I'm done. But I'm going to make sure I pull it from that center out to cover all those petals, because once again, we want to make sure that this has the best chance of not moving once we put it on there. So we want to have all those little spots able to be laid flat. And then when we place this down, we are also going to go back over it and make sure that we touch all those spots to make sure that they are all flat against the board of the bread box and that there's not any gaps there. We can fill in those gaps with paint since we're using DIY paint, which is clay based, and we'll fill in those holes really well. Or we can go ahead and fill it in with a little bit more clay. You can wet down your clay and make kind of like a little putty and put it in there. Or you can just leave it too, whatever suits your fancy. But here I am going in and making sure that all those petals are laying flat, and then that the parts that are going up the sides are down and hitting as much of the surface as possible so that this piece gets glued firmly down. And now we're going to go in and add our other pieces. We're going to add in a leaf here. And again, I'm going to put that stripe of glue down the middle and then use my finger to spread that out towards all of those edges. And then you're just going to place this how you want. And you'll see on the next leaf that I actually go under, I pick up a petal and slide it underneath the petal. Here I'm going over a petal. So you can manipulate these pretty much any way you want. There's also a stem in there, but because this was sitting in that little indent, I didn't need the stem. And I'm just kind of trying to see how I want to do this. And I decided that I'm actually going to put the bud there because I think it'll look great. And again, we're going to add the glue, use my fingers to spread that out to all of the edges, and then place it down where we want it, making sure all those little teeny tiny parts are stuck down good. And this is laying flat on its back so it has a chance to dry without shifting. And here we are with that final leaf. And we are going to spread this out. And then this is where I end up lifting up one of the petals, and it hasn't dried yet. So we're just able to lift that up and then place the petal over the leaf. And then that is automatically glued down onto that leaf, and everything looks good. I am going to show you a quick view, and the only thing I changed here is on that bottom, I did use an X-Acto knife to cut off the excess clay that is still there. So what I'm going to do now is go over the entire bread box, including all of our sunflower and leaves, with 2 good coats of crinoline paint by DIY. DIY paint is super highly pigmented. It is clay-based and water activated, so this will have to get sealed in when we are all done. And because it's water activated, I can also go in and distress this using a baby wipe or a wet paper towel instead of sanding if you choose to do it that way. It's very, very easy to distress. So we are going to get this paint applied, and while we're applying this, I never introduced myself. My name is Sandra, and I'm the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor, as well as all of your crafty needs. We carry DIY paint, sweet pick and smelt paint, iron orchid designs, Connie lines and designs, and Roycycled treasures, and you can find them all linked below at our website, www.midwestcharm.co, and you can find us on all of the social medias. Those are also linked below. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. We're on all of them. So you can find us there, and you will also find our email address below as well. And y'all, a little secret that I'm slowly leaking out, we will be having a storefront location. So not only will we have our booth location in Waite Park, which is St. Cloud, Minnesota, we will also be having a local storefront for all of my friends in East Central Minnesota, West Central Wisconsin for shopping and picking up and all of your fun stuff. So I don't think I have that address linked below, but it's on the website. So if you go to the website, I do believe it's there now. So you can go ahead and find that there. And you can see I'm just kind of swirling my brush to get in there. And when it's not getting in there, I do end up taking out a smaller brush, like a detail brush. And then I even go in with an even smaller brush because the one I had pulled out didn't quite work. The bristles were really stiff on it even after I'd washed it. So that might be time to retire that brush. But we go in and get both of these coats. I'm going to do all the sides. I'm going to do the back. Everything's going to get 2 good coats of the crinoline. And then, y'all, I did do some detail work on the sunflower and the leaves themselves, and I forgot to record that. We have some work being done on the house, and I have people in and out, and it just totally made me lose concentration, and I didn't get that part recorded. So let me go ahead and tell you what I did use for that. I used Queen Bee. I also used Summer Crush. I used Aviary on the leaves and layered chocolate. And all of these were mixed in some extent with the crinoline so that it had more of a blended look and a softer look so that they all just kind of melded together. And I did also I did do some blending in there, and I'm really apologize. I'll be doing this method again. So you guys make sure you just keep your eyes peeled. But that is how I got the look. And then the last thing I am going to do before I seal this up, we are going to take our finger sander and distress all of our edges. And then we'll get this sealed up with some liquid patina because that's what I have on hand at home, and dark wax.
So what do you think? You guys, I have flipped hundreds, I'm not kidding you, hundreds over the past just 5 years alone, bread boxes. I have flipped so many, and I love how this one turned out. It is beautiful, and I cannot wait to get this into the store. I think it's going to be a quick seller, and if you guys flipped bread boxes before, make sure you guys post below. Let me know if you've done these before, what your favorite way to flip them is. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you all next time. Bye.